Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to the living world of darkness. Rage across the Big Apple takedown. And Happy New Year. It is the first day of the new year, and so Rebecca got up early, made breakfast, cleaned up after last night because it was a big night and a late night, and her house was a mess and the cats were mad. So she tidied, and now that it's over, she is going for a walk among the busy, noisy streets of New York. Um, she's delivered a couple of packages. The last of her Christmas cookies are still going out. Um, and she stops and picks up some hot cocoa and um, enjoying the cold, brisk air. She takes a detour by a park that she's familiar with, just to kind of step inside the natural setting and enjoy the season a little bit. Get away from, just for a second, the constant close contact of all those strangers going places.
Sure. Oh, probably see. He's not that hard to spot. There's usually a big circle of, well, no one around him. And he's kind of a big guy too. He's lying down on just steps where he had met up with someone. That's gone now, but he's kind of thinking back on the days that were just better for him. And he's lying down, looking towards the sky, so he's not like drunk lying down, just very pensive, thoughtful.
She leaves him alone at first. She has a book with her, and for a little while she finds a bench and sits down and just sits and sips her cocoa and reads. But she's noticed him over there, and after she's been there a while reading, it occurs to her that he's not reading or anything. He's just sitting there. Um, and sorry for the noise. She glances over at him, and lowers her book for just a second to just watch him.
He'll probably won't notice at first, and so as he gets up, sits up, he'll see her then, and he won't smile. He's not in a very smiling mood, and he'll just see her, like, and he'll see her and raise an eyebrow. Hey.
When he looks up, she's smiling. Like she wasn't smiling when she was watching him. She was just watching him intently. But when he looks up and meets her eye, she pulls up a smile for him. It's friendly. It's cheerful and gentle and not threatening. Probably not the kind of smile you normally get from a stranger in the park. Because she doesn't look up and smile and then look away. She like holds his gaze for a second. Did he say hey?
Yeah. It's a kind of a weird hair, like, why? It's kind of it's a weird hair, like a kind of, I see you watching me kind of hair.
That's fair. And what's his rage?
Also, oh, see, they've met once before, I think, in a bar.
Did they? Who else was there? Do you remember?
It was just him and Chloe, and Rebecca saw them.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Oh, that's way better. Okay. That's way better. And remind me what his rage is?
He's in ruin, so he's on rage 5.
Okay. Um, so she kind of hesitates and then she glances around. Again, kind of hesitantly, like this isn't something she planned. This is a very different afternoon than she had planned for herself, but she picks herself off the bench and moves over towards him, tucking her book away as she goes. Um, And she's basically coming over to explain herself. Are you okay?
He'll think. Hoping this year will be better than the last one.
As she gets close, she starts to feel that twinge of nervousness, the increased, the kind of heart pounding sense that there's a predator in the room. And that reminds her as much as anything where she's seen him before. She stops further away than she would otherwise, and kind of braces herself against that. But she's paying attention to what he said. Yeah, me too. Sorry, if you're meditating, I'll leave you alone. I didn't mean to interrupt. I want to make sure you're okay.
Again, he'll think about his answer. I have to be.
Whew. That's a rough answer. You're pretty young for that kind of thing. And she's going to come over slowly, a little bit warily, and sit down on the step near him, but not at all close enough to touch. She's still working out her feeling about his rage. Like her willpower is higher than 5, but it's getting close there. So she sits down, giving him a chance to respond.
Yeah. I don't exactly live the simplest of lives.
Well, New York's not a very simple place, I've found. Seems like not much here is nearly as simple as it looks.
It doesn't seem so.
Are you scared?
A little bit. Maybe more angry.
Angry, yeah. Yeah. It's easier to be than scared. It's simpler.
I'm more used to be angry.
She kind of looks him over for just a second because her first response is yeah, you are, but it's instinctive, right? Like it's not she doesn't she knows why she thinks that, but it kind of amuses her that there is that that feeling there. She just doesn't quite know how to deal with it, and she's going to kind of reach over and try and give his shoulder just a gentle squeeze.
He'll watch her hand. He won't do anything. But he'll just watch her hand.
I know a lot of people who get by that way. Can't really blame you. And the world is full of stuff that's unpleasant. It's reasonable to be angry. Just hope it does not. Well, you're pretty young to be having kidney problems.
Sorry, what was that last part?
She said, "You're a little young to be having kidney problems. I hope you're taking good care of yourself. You'll get ulcers."
No, no kidney problems.
Good. So what's up? You want to talk about it?
Look, think for a way to formulate. He doesn't want to talk too much either, so he looks very thoughtful about his answer for a bit.
As he's putting his answer together, she just kind of sits back and puts her hands on her knees and just, kind of goes back to what she was planning to do here, which is just kind of sit and look out over the city framed by the little trees of the park and listen.
Let's just say that for an 18-year-old, I know way too much about the world not being fair.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sorry to hear that. What are you doing about it? Not in the... She kind of hesitates and says, not in the combating evil sense, but how are you reconciling that with yourself?
There are parts of it that I can't do anything about. Bad things are gonna happen, no matter how hard I try to stop them. The things I can, I work on myself. Try to better myself.
It's a good combination. You're right. Bad things are going to happen, whether you like it or not, and there's nothing you can do to stop them. It's important. That's important to know. Especially when you're angry, it's easy to think that it's your fault. If you'd just been a better person, you could have stopped it. Especially at your age. It's good to want to be better, though. It's always good. Helps us keep our eyes open.
How do you deal with it?
She looks up and stares at the thin gray sky. It's New Year, so I'm going to be honest. There's an old saying about lying on New Year, and it's not a good idea. I changed recently how I deal with it. I stopped running away. Still figuring it out. I stopped playing it safe and found it's a lot more dangerous than I thought. So, I don't have a lot of good advice. Still asking questions. But mostly I try to figure out the people around me who means well and whether their good intentions are going to get me hurt or other people that I care about. For me, it's about the people. But, well, I get to deal with the world's monsters one-on-one mostly.
The world's... And he'll smirk. The world's monsters.
Yeah. Yeah, I've had a lot of luxury in my life. It means that when the world throws weird shit at me, it's on a smaller scale than some people.
So what kind of monsters do you face?
Maybe it's a bad word. I guess some people use demons, but demon doesn't seem to cover it quite as well, you know?
Okay, I think I'm not sure I know exactly what you mean.
I'm sorry. It's early. I was up late last night. I had a party at my place. She lifts up her hot cocoa. Still recovering.
Yeah.
All kinds of monsters. People who want the world to run their way. No matter what. No matter who it puts in danger or how it hurts people. People who decide what's good and bad and then enforce their decision with violence or abuse.
And you're not that. Yeah, I know those people. Well, some of them.
She spreads her hands out in front of her to kind of encompass a lot of stuff. It's a pretty broad description, I guess. I'm trying to be at least a little bit circumspect. I deal in politics a lot. All the things I want to talk about, I really shouldn't.
I think everyone has things they shouldn't talk about.
Some more than others.
I know that one of those subjects.
So are monsters. I find the two overlap a lot.
I guess they do.
I'm sorry to hear you say that. It's something I understood when I was your age, but most people don't.
Yeah. My mother doesn't speak to me for political reasons.
Whew. That's intense. Is that your cat?
The cat's like, meh, breakfast.
Aw.
Just sick.
Mhm. Welcome back. I've got the neighbor's dog going.
Yeah.
The one
You know,
thing I've
she,
always been fortunate in is the support of my parents.
lucky you.
Mhm. Yeah. Like I said, I've been very fortunate in a lot of ways. She kind of studies him very thoughtfully.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of things going through his head, going through, like, it's easy to see. Yeah, sometimes I wish I could just give up on the things I have to do, but it's not really an option, is it?
It is. It is an option. But it doesn't usually turn out the way you think it will. That's my experience. I've seen what happens. And usually, in my experience, when you decide not to take up the fight because you're afraid of losing something, you end up losing all the things that you were afraid of losing.
She'll nod. And I said that he kind of gets up. Like, she can tell that there's something about, he won't say anything, but there's something about the way about how she talked about losing stuff that just hits home.
Mm-hmm. She studies him as he gets up, and she waits a minute, and then she starts to pull herself to her feet too. I shouldn't talk about losing things. It's been a bad year for losing people.
Yeah, me too.
She actually pauses and like her face freezes for a second. Um and then she meets his eye again. It's Simon, right?
Yeah,
Chloe's friend.
Rebecca.
Mm-hmm. Is Chloe okay?
She's alright.
Good. I'm glad to hear it. She's been through a lot. I
She
worry
really
about you
has.
guys.
Oops, sorry, what was that? I cut you off.
She said, I worry about you guys.
You look kind of quizzically confused. We're a little bit confused. Not, look at her. You worry about us?
She just shakes her head. I haven't asked, but Chloe looks like she's been through some shit. And
Yeah.
it seems like every time I meet one of her friends, they've been through some shit. So I worry.
It's, yeah, one of the reasons why we hang together.
Yeah, that makes sense. It makes plenty of sense. I know you can't talk about it, but Chloe was there for me when I just lost some people. And didn't know how to talk about it. Didn't really have anyone to talk about it with. If you ever need to talk. And she's going to reach in her bag and find a business card and offer it to him. I won't ask a lot of questions. And I'll keep it vague.
And he'll take the card. Very have a quick look over it, like he'll just toss it in front of his eyes, kind of quick. Oh no, very, very quick look, and put it in his pocket. Yeah. It's not always easy to talk about it.
I don't think it's ever easy. At least not in my experience.
I can relate to that. Yeah, never been. I guess it's never, at least as far as I've got, as far as I'm concerned, it's never been easy.
And if you don't talk about it, it just goes around and around and around in your head. And that's dangerous.
It's about finding the right people to share it with.
Hmm. That's what I hear. That's what I've been trying. But it's dangerous too.
Finding people that know what it's like to go through what you're going through. If they haven't, what's the point? They don't understand.
sometimes it's a very small number of people. Sometimes you have to broaden your search a little bit, or you won't find anyone. But talking in generalities can help.
Sometimes you have to get to the point, though.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess so. She's watching him again because, man, Rage 5 is intense, and
Yeah.
she's like, when he says that, she's just imagining him reaching that point where he's like, now I have to get to the point, right? Like, I can't
Yeah.
beat around the bush, and it's terrifying. The mental image is terrifying, and the urge to run away and hug him at the same time are pretty fierce. Oh, what a strange place this world is.
And he'll smile. Well, this is more of a smirk. He says, I'm tempted to say you have no idea, but maybe you do.
She studies him. She doesn't say anything. She looks a little bit pained. She looks a little bit thoughtful. She did say she was going to start off her New Year's by not lying. And she pulls a deep breath and just shakes her head. I have no idea. And the more I know, the more I know how little I know. Knowledge is dangerous, and ignorance is even more deadly.
Yeah, but at the same time, no one in the world, no one in history has ever known everything.
No, you're right. You're very right.
If there's one thing we never stop doing from the day we're born till the day we die, and even if we are in our 100, even if we do die at 100 and something years old, the one thing that we never stop doing is learning.
Yes. Whether we like it or not. I know a lot of people who fight that pretty hard.
It's going to happen in the end. We're going to learn lessons, good or bad.
No wonder you're afraid.
And
That's
that he'll sigh. I need to go. But and he'll
you
kind
were
of gesture
here
his pocket.
first.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
She stops him and she's going to reach out and touch his arm gently and say, You were here first. If you have thinking to do, I'm gonna leave you to it.
I actually have something to do that I should get to.
Okay. Happy New Year, Simon. Good luck.
Happy New Year, Rebecca.
And call me if you just need to talk.
And for the first time today, you'll actually have a genuine smile. Like the rest was just not a very happy smile, more like the rest were, well, they were different kind of smiles, mostly like kind of what you're talking about, or kind of just smirks. But yeah, this is actually a small but genuine smile. Thank you. Um, I'll call you if I need to.
That look kind of breaks her heart. She gives his arm another squeeze, and then she's going to give him a nod and flash him a grin, a small grin. And then she's gonna toast him with her drink and start to head off. Happy New Year.
And he'll also head off to Central Park. And as the two make their way, we can end the scene there. Thank you